Good morning, guys. In this video I'm gonna show you guys how to test a capacitor. I'm performing a cleaning check on this unit for a building. It's a little big building. So first thing, as you guys can notice, this capacitor has a little dent here. It's not supposed to be like this. I don't know, maybe who installed it crashed it on the truck, or maybe on the factory. I don't know if this capacitor is original from the factory, but whatever. This is a first sign that the capacitor, you know, there might be something wrong with it. It's not supposed to be like this, because this might cause a damage to the interior components. So first of all, we set up our tester on the microfarads, and then we check common, which is most of the time the one with the 4 legs. See, this has 4, 3 and 2. So the one with the most legs, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, is the common. The second one with the most legs is the one for the compressor, which is hermetic, and the third one with the least legs or leads is the one for the fan. As you guys can see, you cannot see the letters for this capacitor because it's too old. So let's check out the fan first. So we go from common to fan, right there. Sorry, a little bit hard doing it with one hand, but it's right there. And as you guys can see here, we have 5, and that's exactly what we need, 5. However, on the hermetic side or compressor side, let's check it out. We need 35 and we have only 32. And as you guys can see here, it says plus minus 6%. And let's check how much is that. So it's a 35 and we had 32 point something. So let's see, 35 minus 6%, 32.9. So we are just right there, right there. And we have 32.6. So it's a little bit lower than what the manufacturer recommends. So in this case, you see the dent here, and you see that it's lower than what manufacturer recommends. So this, in my opinion, this has to be replaced, even though the unit is running perfectly fine. But it's gonna break, as you guys know, it's gonna break on the hottest day of the season when we are very busy. And since I'm already here, it's better to replace it than wait until it breaks, because that way he's gonna save the money on the service call. All right, and that's it. On the hottest day of the season, when everything else is gonna break, you don't have to come back here and take care of this, since you are already here and you can take care of it. Okay, so if you advise the customer to replace it because you already know it's bad, or it's getting dead at least, even though it's already working, but you know, if you replace it now, you're gonna have more time when the hottest day of the season arrives. You're gonna have more time to take care of the rest of the customers, and you know, it's a win-win situation. Okay guys, I talked to the customer about replacing the capacitor and he agreed. So here I have the new capacitor. As you guys can see, it's a big difference between the new one and the old one, especially because on the new one you can see the letters hermetic, common and fan right there. And it's important to always test it. Even if it's new, it can be bad out of the box. You know, it happens. You know, the things stay in the warehouse for big amount of time and the charge can go back. But this one, we are right there, 35. We are exactly where we want to be, and on the fan side we are at 4.99, which is just as good as 5. So that's it, let's install it. One little trick: you always want to tie the spade connectors right here with the wire stripper to make sure, I mean, you always want to press it here to make sure they are nice and tight. And also, as you can see here, we have 2 brown wires on the old York units. Sometimes you found 2 brown wires, and you know, you have to mark one of them. In my case, I always like to mark the one for the fan. I don't know if you guys can see here the dark spot I did with the Sharpie. So you want to mark always one of them, so you know when you are putting the wires back on the new capacitor, you know which one goes where. Or else, you know, you might make the fan motor to work on reverse, or the compressor won't come on, or you're gonna have a weird noise. It's not gonna work properly. So you have to make sure to connect the wires back on the right place. Okay guys, here is another way of how to tell when the capacitor is bad. You know, we got a call from a customer that said that the fan was trying to run, but he was just making a humming noise and it wouldn't come on. So when we got here, we found this. See how the capacitor is swollen? So when the capacitor is that way, you don't even have to test it, you just have to replace it. That's the problem right there. That's another way to tell that the capacitor is bad, is by looking at it. And it is supposed to be, it's supposed to be flat, just like this one right here. See the difference right there? And here is the new capacitor. So in this situation, you don't even have to test it. You can tell that it is a bad capacitor just by looking at it. That's it.